how can we become aware? So once we know that there are such things as mindsets, then the next question becomes like, well, how do I know I have a mindset about something? Like, how do I know that I have a particular way of seeing something that may or may not be holding me back? It's a great question because it's sort of like, you've always had some kind of glasses on and no one's told you that you've never had them on. So somebody needs to come along and tell you or show you in somehow, or you need to have some sort of experience in which you see, you take the glasses off and you see differently. So how do we do that? I mean, first of all, one of the best ways is just, talking to people like about the things you're interested in. Like, how do you think about this thing? How do you view this? And one of the ways I like to think about this and to try to get into the mindset of people I maybe don't even know, but I want to know and I want to be more like them, is to think about how, if the outcome is the X, right? If they are this person, if they are this way with the guitar, let's say, if they're effortless in their playing and always have a big smile on their face, like what is the way of thinking that must be going on in their head such that the outcome of it is that thing? It's just the example is, if there's something you want to do, think of a friend of yours or a close acquaintance or someone who's already doing that and ask them like, how do you think about that? Like, people who love to practice their instruments. It's like, well, they think about practice differently than I do because I'm not naturally a person who loves practicing my instrument. So there's some way they're thinking about it that gives them access to this whole different way of being. They have a whole different mindset around it than I do. So I think that's one of the ways that you can start to find out and to see what your mindsets are. I mean, the other way is, is there a place in your life where you're struggling, where where you don't feel free, where you feel unexpressed, where it's effortful? Um, Note that, and then ask yourself, is there another way I could be around this? Do I have a friend who does this same thing but approaches it totally with a lot of freedom and ease and effortlessness? Or maybe they once didn't and now they do. They once were as effort, they put as much effort and angst into it as you did, but they've overcome that somehow. Be worth asking them. They may have changed their mindset.